Happening now, police are stepping up security at public meetings here in Jamestown following an argument between a lawmaker and constituent over the meaning of Memorial Day. And an additional set of human remains were found this week on a Chautauqua County farm, while the sheriff is ruling out foul play. Plus, a local high school putting on a unique concert that features new and returning faces. We hear from those in the band coming up next.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. An electrical issue is blamed for a residential fire at a Town of Charlotte trailer early this morning. Over a half a dozen departments assisted firefighters from Sinclairville to battle the rude road blaze around 5 in the morning. After flames were extinguished, the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office fire investigation team then responded to determine the origin and cause. It's been determined that the fire originated at a floor level behind a dryer due to what appears to be a compromised electrical cord and outlet. The residence has since been deemed a complete loss. The resident and her dog are being assisted by the Red Cross. Well, there is an increased security presence now at Jamestown City Council meetings following an argument between a lawmaker and a constituent last week over the meaning of Memorial Day. Our Bronson Rasmussen has more.
During the council's work session on Monday, the 16th, an unruly man got into an argument with council president Tony Doles that led to the individual being asked to leave the meeting. The argument stemmed from a discussion about the Jamestown Memorial Day Parade, with differing opinions about the context of the event, whether it's a remembrance or a celebration.
It's not a celebration.
It's a celebration of their lives. It's not a bad celebration.
It's not the term that I was using. It's a remembrance of.
Exactly.
After repeatedly making comments, an argument arose between the two.
Okay.
That's your opinion. It's not a fact.
Excuse me, you don't need to make comments. You can call it what you want to call it.
You want to ask
There was
me to leave, I'll
nothing.
leave.
There was nothing derogatory about it. I was trying to make a comment about it not being a celebration. It's not like the 4th of July. It's in remembrance.
What branch
I'm
of
not
service
gonna.
did you serve in?
I'm not going to argue with you. I wasn't talking
I'm
to
not
you.
arguing.
I was making a comment publicly
Take it
because there
easy.
has been.
Take it easy.
You're
Need
not.
some blood
This
pressure
is. This is
medication?
not. Excuse me. I would like you to leave. I think you need to leave this meeting.
Yeah, I'll be happy.
You're completely out of order and out of control. This isn't
And you're an
about.
imbecile.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate
Can you
that.
spell that?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Since the altercation, officers of the Jamestown Police Department have ramped up their presence.
There have been a number of council people that had asked, given the situation last week where he had an unruly constituent come in.
The council president believes it is important to have security, especially in light of recent events nationwide.
Just as a precautionary measure, we want to make sure that everybody that comes here, staff, elected officials, and constituents that come can feel safe.
Doles doubled down that all members of the public are welcome to attend city council meetings. In fact, he encourages anyone to visit to speak directly with their city representatives. The increased security is just that, security, with the goal of keeping the meetings safe. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. An additional set of human bones were recovered in what is believed to be an unmarked gravesite on a Chautauqua County farm. The county sheriff's office reporting that contractors installing a septic system for a new house on Country Eyre Farm in DeWittville made that discovery on Tuesday. Following additional excavation of the site, the department says at least one other set of bones were recovered with the assistance from the Forensic Anthropology program at Mercyhurst College. The bones were determined to be quite old and could date back to the Alms House, also known as that county farm, which started in the early 1800s and was open in some capacity for over 100 years there. Through further review of the property's history, the law enforcement agency believes the remains may have been part of an unmarked cemetery. At this point, the incident does not appear to be suspicious. And the Chautauqua County Legislature approved a local law amending the county's worker compensation program. The county law changes the county's current regulations, now allocating 60% experience and 40% wages. Before this change, costs were allocated at 60% experience and 40% property valuation. A push by legislator Bob Benkowski to phase in this change over the next 2 years failed, with a final vote from the lawmaking body 15-3 approving the change. And we are following the legacy left behind in the supermarket security guard, one of the victims in the Buffalo mass shooting. His funeral is just the latest one held, just over 1 week after the Tops Market tragedy. Erie News Now's Keelan Berrien traveled to Buffalo as Aaron Slater Jr. was laid to rest.
A loving father, husband, and friend of many, Aaron Salter Jr. At the chapel of Cross Point Church, family, friends, and his sisters and brothers in blue gathered to lay Buffalo's hero to rest.
Aaron was just a real pleasant, kind-hearted guy. Just, nice to be around, always had a nice smile on his face, always a pleasant experience.
Reese Jordan is a friend of Salter of 10 years. Every time Jordan was in Tops, the two would catch up on lost times. He says he sees the senseless violence so much, it's becoming a norm.
The reality of it is, it's the world that we live in. The best that we can do as a society is just love one another. There's no difference between you and I.
For Salter's bravery, the Buffalo Police Department honored him with the Medal of Honor and promoted him to lieutenant. I stopped Buffalo's Mayor Brian Brown to see what's next for the city of good neighbors.
We need sensible gun control in this country, and this is a painful and powerful call to action for our federal government to finally enact sensible gun reform in our country.
At the end of the service, everyone stood around the casket holding American flags. More tears were shed, and a moment of silence was given.
To Aaron, I want to say farewell, my friend, my courageous and brave friend. I'll see you on the other side.
Erie News Now's Keelan Berrien reporting there. Let's switch gears now and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that today. And on tap, just like yesterday, to be another day. But I know those temps, they're on the rise.
Oh, yes, those temperatures are going to be going up. But after the second half of the weekend, the Warren City Bank Skycam showing you the clouds have started to filter in now. So basically the sunshine that we've had is going to be kind of murky today with some of that clouds that you see here. We had a little rogue shower that came across that northeastern part of Erie County, came up across the Lake Erie shoreline, rained itself out, and now it's basically gone. So if you had a little rain shower near Ripley and Dunkirk, that was the little rain shower that produced that. Don't forget, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. this will be your last chance for storm spotter training this season from the National Weather Service in Buffalo. So just go to weather.gov/BUF/Skywarn to register for your spot. And again, we need more spotters. 72 was the high yesterday, started the day at 56, 89, and 33 are the records. So through the afternoon, partly to mostly sunny, widely scattered showers. That means not everybody's going to see rain. Most everybody will be dry, but where you do see a shower, there could be a couple rumbles of thunder. 60 to 65 with a south, actually those temperatures actually are from yesterday. So south wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. We'll talk about the Memorial Day forecast coming up in a minute. That's an oopsie on the weather producer. Back to you, Justin.
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. We'll see you back in just a little bit with that full forecast. As we roll along, the latest on the Jamestown school lockout yesterday, we hear what school officials say is blamed for this scary situation. And later on, we check in with the wall that heals. Here's a live look at it now as setup gets underway in Erie, PA ahead of Memorial Day weekend. Stay with us. WNY News Now is back just after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area. hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
2 schools within the city of Jamestown were under a lockout yesterday afternoon as Jamestown police investigated suspicious activity around their buildings. According to a post on the Jamestown Public Schools Facebook page, Jamestown High School went under a lockout for a short period of time due to a suspicious individual who was observed outside the building there. A second lockout was in place at Washington Middle School as a precautionary measure while officers with JPD searched for a person of interest in that area. Officials have since determined that there was no immediate threat to either JHS or Washington Middle School. In an emergency meeting yesterday of the School Safety Improvement Team, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has proposed tighter gun laws in the wake of 2 high-profile mass shootings over the last weeks in Buffalo and now in Texas. WENY's Kurt Motone has what's on the table.
Just because it's the tightest doesn't mean that it's sufficient.
Governor Hochul at an emergency meeting of the School Safety Improvement Team proposing more gun restrictions. Representative Kellis agrees.
Easily, in this country right now, purchase a gun, then you can get baby formula. That's not right. It's a ridiculous situation that we're in right now.
In that meeting, Governor Hochul proposed increasing the legal age to buy a rifle in New York. Right now, you can buy one at the age of 18, and the proposed increase would bump it to 21. Kellis says parents right here in the Twin Tiers are scared to send their kids to school.
Every parent that I talk to says, I want nothing more than to hold my child close and never let them go. And that is trauma. That is what we're facing right now.
Lawmakers are currently looking at a package of bills on gun reform. The bills, which are likely to pass, will expand the background check process, increase scrutiny for pistol permit applicants, and limit when and how someone can purchase body armor. However, lawmakers in Albany are running out of time. There's only 3 days left in the session before next year.
Every other state is even further behind, but as a country, we're nowhere near where we need to be.
Reporting in Ithaca, Kurt Martone, WENY News.
Democrat Antonio Delgado was sworn in as New York's lieutenant governor yesterday, becoming the state's first person of Latino heritage to serve in a statewide office. Delgado, who identifies as an Afro-Latino, is taking on the largely ceremonial role in administration of Governor Kathy Hochul, who selected him for the job. It was previously held by Brian Benjamin, who resigned following an arrest in April on federal corruption charges, which he has denied. The 45-year-old will also be Hochul's running mate in this year's gubernatorial election. And the Republican primary race for Senate in Pennsylvania is now headed to a recount. The unofficial results have celebrity doctor Mehmet Oz leading Dave McCormick by 192 votes. According to officials, the margin is within the automatic recount threshold. Counties can begin the recount as early as tomorrow and no later than June 1st. Vote counting must be completed by June 7th and results submitted by noon on June 8th. The ballots must be counted using different devices than used in the first vote. The winner of the race will face the Democratic Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman in the general election this fall. There have been 3 recounts in Pennsylvania since 2004. None have changed the results. Motorcycle riders traveled from all over our region to help bring the wall that heals to Erie, Pennsylvania yesterday. Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner spoke to riders who say it was much more than just a motorcycle ride.
This is the first ride I've been on since 2019.
Wow.
And it's important to me.
Skip Georgial has been riding his bike for 52 years, but he hasn't ridden since he crashed 3 years ago and spent weeks in the ICU. But on Wednesday, he got on his bike once again to help bring the wall that heals to Erie.
All the vets, especially the Vietnam vets, went through more than people could understand back in the day. And we're very devout veterans. We do everything as veterans. We do everything as veterans groups together. We're very proud to have served in Vietnam.
He's seen the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. and was moved to tears.
I broke down twice at the one in D.C. I just broke down crying. There's 2 names on there I know I served with. And to see those names on there, it's just devastating. I mean, you're inseparable. You're like blood brothers or brothers, and you just are together. That's the way life goes on, and you just serve together and be together the rest of your lives.
He says no matter how many times he sees it, his time in Vietnam comes rushing back.
I'm a very emotional individual, and when I see it again, it will probably get me again because it's that important to me because of all those men that died back in the day back there.
Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
Such an important thing to witness and take part in for those brave men and women who served during that era. The Wall That Heals opens Friday at the Zem Shrine Club. It's on West 38th Street in Erie. It runs through Monday at 2 o'clock. I'll be live there tomorrow for the opening and hearing from some Chautauqua County vets who are headed that way to take part. Coming up next, at Faulconer High School, they're inviting everyone to a long-awaited superhero concert featuring new and returning faces. We hear from those in the band coming up. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast on this beautiful day out there. Stay right there.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Wanted to start off with a couple of weather eye pictures. Yeah, Don in Asheville captured this, a bald eagle. Of course, we all know the bald eagle. The bald eagle is the official bird of our country. And man, this is just some amazing photography here. So, this is just fantastic. Of course, the bald eagle flying there. So, of course, if you have any pictures or videos like this or of the weather, you can send it to us on Facebook or Twitter using that hashtag MyLocalWX. The clouds have started to stream in now downtown. We're at 71 as of noon hour. A south wind of 13, still a little bit breezy, but look at that dew point up at 60. So, again, it's a little bit more humid today than it has been, but it's going to turn even more worse as we go into next week. So we have just a few scattered showers through the afternoon today. A better chance for rain and storms will come our way tomorrow. Memorial Day still looking A+, nice, and it's time to open the pool, folks. If you've got the pools, time to open them by next week. Here's where we're going here. Take a look at the muggy meter here. We're humid for tomorrow. We're going to stay humid. It'll turn a little bit better as a cold front approaches Saturday and Sunday, but then look at where the muggy meter goes, back up into that muggy category. And yeah, just like the background suggests, get the pools open. So there is a low-end marginal risk for at least a couple of stronger storms, mainly from Erie, PA, back to the west. And again, the main threats with that would mainly be gusty winds. The better severe weather chances are south of Cleveland here, going down into Kentucky. That's where the better severe weather chances will be. You see all the rain and thunderstorms starting to surge on in ahead of the front, and then the front is going to move our way later in the day on Friday. So let's take you through Future Scan, the computer modeling. Again, shows you a couple of these showers, and again, they're widely spaced, so that means most everybody will stay dry, but where you do see a couple of these showers, there could be a couple of rumbles of thunder. We'll continue the rain and maybe a couple of thunderstorms through the overnight hours. Tomorrow, out ahead of the front, we start to see more widespread rain and a few thunderstorms through the day on Friday. Saturday's not going to be a total washout, but there will be a couple scattered showers from time to time, but plenty of usable time on Saturday. So we start at 63 tomorrow, 68 at noon, 71 at 5 with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now the next 7 days powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So 65 on Saturday. Again, not a total washout. Temperatures go up Sunday, 77. Memorial Day, nice, partly to mostly sunny, 83. And you're going to need those air conditioners, Justin. Tuesday and Wednesday, we could be getting close to the mid-80s.
Yeah, break them out, Dakota, for sure. Thank you. Well, let's check some headlines from around the nation now. In the CDC, they're maintaining their prescription antiviral drug Palaxib for early-stage COVID-19 patients high risk for that disease. CDC officials said this week that recent findings show some people who took this drug had a reappearance of COVID symptoms and days later retested positive for the virus. According to the CDC, those who did experience a COVID-19 diagnosis rebounded and often had mild and brief illnesses. They alerted that those people should re-isolate and test as well. You should be isolated for at least 5 days out of a precaution, they said. The head of the Food and Drug Administration was on a virtual hot seat this week during a House subcommittee hearing about the baby formula shortage. FDA Commissioner Robert Cliff took questions from lawmakers about the agency's slow response to the shortage, acknowledging that the FDA had made some changes. He also referenced a whistleblower, a former employee from Abbott Nutrition. The employee has documented his concerns about safety at that company's formula plant in Michigan. He sent a detailed complaint to the FDA months before Abbott issued a recall on many of its brands of its baby formula. However, the agency said a mailroom issue delayed the delivery of that report. And we're beginning to learn the names and the faces of the victims in Tuesday's horrific mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Alvid, Texas. 19 children and 2 adults were killed there. Of those victims was Irma Garcia. According to a GoFundMe campaign for funeral expenses and family support, she was a 4th grade teacher. She was married with 4 children. The GoFundMe calls her a hero, saying she sacrificed herself to protect kids in that classroom. Her nephew, John Martinez, told the Washington Post that he informed officials that her family helped shield students from that gunfire. Wow. She had been an educator for 23 years. She was on her 5th year co-teaching with Eva Morales, who was also killed in that rampage. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Slow down, and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger
This danger is real. Do your part.
please
Slow down, and move over.
move over.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Faulconer High School is hosting a special Marvel-themed concert next week, featuring an interesting mix of performers consisting of current and former band members. Our Alyssa Wright reports.
It's not just alumni, it is alumni and also teachers and staff members that are currently in the school district that have decided to dust off those horns, get them out, and start playing again.
Explains middle and high school band director Michelle Battaglia, who says that the concert has been in the works for quite some time.
It actually started in 2020, just before COVID, and we were going to do an alumni concert for the Olympics. And I was going to invite select alumni to come and play with the band for the Olympic spirit. And then COVID took place. We weren't able to have a concert that year.
The concert features songs from the Marvel movie soundtracks, including Captain America, Ant-Man, and Guardians of the Galaxy, just to name a few.
I have played the saxophone since I was in 4th grade. I believe it was the year 2000, so I've been playing for about 22 years now and still going strong.
Says Kyle Jordan, a Faulconer graduate of 2009.
I've always been an active musician. Music's always been a passion of my life. Something I obviously did not want to do professionally or as my primary job, but something I've always carried with me as a joy and just something I thoroughly love. It's a passion I enjoy about my life.
To many, like Faulconer senior Renee Spangler, the expression of music is much more than a hobby.
With all of the alumni here and the teachers and the people I've gotten to know this year, it's been really special, and I feel like I've gotten to know these musical people a lot better, and I've been able to see my path in the future a lot clearer because of this.
The concert will take place June 1st at 8 p.m. at Faulconer's Bill Race Athletic Complex. All are welcome to attend free of charge, with the audience encouraged to wear their favorite superhero costume.
It is a great thing, and it's a great opportunity not only for the community, but for our students as well.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Right, Alyssa, thank you very much. As a Faulconer grad who played the saxophone, Dakota, I'll tell you that it's such a cool thing to see. I wish I would have kept up with my instrument. That's one of the big things that really thinking about this story, I'm like, I totally would have wanted to take part, but I mean, I haven't played the saxophone
So here's a question.
in a number of years.
So here's a question. If I go to Jermaine and Parpolardo and get a, what'd you say, tuba?
A saxophone.
Saxophone. I don't know where I got tuba. Saxophone.
Both heavy instruments. Tuba's heavier, though.
It's all the same thing. So if I were to get you a tuba, would you still be able to play me a song?
I don't know. So maybe, but it's been 5+ years since I've played, so I could get a note out of it probably. I don't know if I could play a song.
Can you play taps? Ravelly?
I could probably do hot cross buns, because that's what everybody learns in the beginning, but I mean, I used to
I don't want
to
know
play,
the backstory of that.
No, hot cross buns. It's you're not in music, so you wouldn't know, but it's,
No.
it's like a training song, like hot cross buns. All right, we won't get
About
into
the
it.
stripper by David Rose. Dun, da-da, dun, da-da.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? I don't even know how to move from this, but
we're ending the show just in time before we get yanked off the air.
They bring out the super long the Yankee off the stage with
the
long
little
canes.
cane thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, that's it for us. We'll leave you with this look. There you go. Bye, Dakota. We'll leave you with this live look over Randolph, and it looks like a little dark, scary looking clouds over there. Everything you need to know at WNYNewsNow.com.